Hello, you lucky people. We're back with more Move TV. So I hope you're nice and warm at home. You've got a nice cup of whatever it is that makes you feel good in the afternoon. And I'm here with Zoe. Zoe, hi.
Hi.
Where are you coming from today?
What's that?
Where are you coming from today, Zoe?
I'm in Champions Business Park in Upton on the Wirral.
And you've got a story about that because I heard from your networking story the other day that you actually ended up in that place because of a Move networking
That's
opportunity.
Right. Yeah. So I started going networking in January this year, and it's been a really amazing journey. Met some incredible people, and each time somebody goes networking, I always make a point of adding them because I just sort of I started making a reel, and it was kind of to teach myself how to use reels, because if you look back to some of my original ones, they're rubbish. They're just like a little mini slideshow. So I was kind of teaching myself to do reels and build my own skill set with that. But it's kind of just grown into something that I've done, such as naturally grew into something that I did on a weekly basis, and I just love doing them now. So because I was making the reels, I made a point of always making sure that anybody that joined networking, even if it was just a sort of one-off and then they didn't come for a while, I added them on social media because I do a lot on Facebook and Instagram, not so much on LinkedIn and some of the other things that some of the other people that go networking use. So I would always make sure I added people. So I'd added this particular person. She only came once and I never really saw her again. But when I was then looking for a premises for my business, I just put a message out on my social media saying, has anybody got any space to rent on the Wirral, rough idea of what I was looking for. And yeah, it was a contact from networking that came back with something for me. And that's where I'm sitting now, and I absolutely love it. It's a brilliant location because it's central, really central on the Wirral, right in the centre, really easy to get to, free parking, it's perfect. So yeah, and that's thanks to networking.
Well, that's a really powerful story. And yeah. I love the fact when you were talking about reels, by the way, there might be some people out there that don't have a Scooby-Doo's what you're talking about. Okay, so we are talking about reels, which are like little video stories on Instagram. Okay, so just for anyone that's not initiated with that kind of language, that's what we're talking about.
Like everyone should know what they are, don't we?
We should never assume in this world that other people know what we're talking about. Okay, because that's they may not. When you've been playing with reels, I want to know, because I've played with reels myself, obviously. Are there any particular ones that you really struggled to do? I mean, I found lip sync ones are really difficult. Have you ever done those?
I've tried a couple of lip sync ones, but I don't really. I just generally I'm a very real person. I don't mean I'm Instagram real now. I mean like genuinely real. So I tend to prefer just doing mini videos of me and the things that I do. So if you look at my reels, they're mostly just me networking, me on a walk with my friends, me with my dog, rather than using all of the audios that are out there to lip sync anything. I don't really do that kind of thing very much. So we're all different, aren't we?
Well, we are, but also you've got to appreciate that the people that are really, really good at that, they spend hours perfecting.
Oh yeah, I haven't got hours.
Absolutely hours perfecting, and a lot of us in business do not have the time to do that and perfect that. But great on anyone that does it. And I like looking at reels of people that are really them, and they're just. I think it depends on what age you are and how you use social media, but for me it's great when I can relate to it, and I love stuff where it's mum or dad related, for example, as a parent related, and you go, oh yeah, that's totally it. I did a little reel yesterday and I got quite a lot of love for it because one of my boys went out and he's gone out, he started out at work now and he's teaching, and he went off early, and then my other son, he was getting ready for school and he couldn't find one of his shoes, and we were looking everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And this is a common thing in our house because we've got 5 children, lots of pairs of shoes, and they're meant to put them away somewhere, but they don't. They never ever do it. and he'd lost one of his shoes, and we looked under the sofas, we looked under cupboards, we looked everywhere, we couldn't find it. And then my wife comes down and she says, there's one of Addie's shoes there and one of Finn's shoes there. You don't think that the eldest one has gone off wearing one of each, which is exactly what he had done. And I phoned him. I said, look at your shoes. And he went, what? He went, what? Oh.
I won't mention any names, but one of our Move community has been to a networking meeting with odd shoes on.
There you go. It can happen. It can happen. So listen, tell me a little bit about what it...
He's your child.
That's allowed. Tell me a little bit about what it is that you do.
So I'm a nutrition and wellness coach for Herbalife Nutrition, and I run a nutrition club, which is where I am now. But I also work with people online as well. So there's a number of different reasons why people will contact me. Menopausal women is a big one recently, and getting more and more of all of the time. Our most common plan that we do is fat loss plan, because most people want to lose a bit of fluff, especially thinking January coming. But even if somebody appears to you like they don't need to lose any body fat or weight, most people have body goals, don't they? Yeah. Regardless of where they start, they always have a goal in mind of where they'd rather be. So that's the most common thing that I do. But I generally just help people feel better. So we explore their goals during a wellness evaluation, and that can either be face-to-face or online on like a video call or just a normal phone call. It's always nicer if you can see the person face-to-face, even if you do it on a call. Explore the goals, find out what it is that they're looking to achieve, health and body goals, and then sort of see where they're at currently. So we use body composition scales to do that. If they're not local to me, then they can obviously get their own and send me the results, and we can do it that way. That's the best place to start. And then we sort of see where they are now, where they want to be, what the difference is, what the gap is, and then tell them how we can get them there. And in Nutrition Club, people come and visit face-to-face on a regular basis, and they actually fuel up and have their breakfast here as well. So it's a breakfast club. That's what all this is behind me. So they visit regularly. They're part of a community. If somebody is on an online plan with me, they can still be part of a community, because I've created groups to make sure that they still feel like they're part of something. So we communicate regularly on groups. So I've got several clients who live in different parts of the UK. We've even got clients in different countries as well. So it can be done at a distance, or it can be done locally. And it's generally just making people feel better, helping them with their body and health goals.
And it's the interesting thing, because I often think that when you start to get people into a community or a club and something like that, and they come along for this, they possibly come along for one experience. You know, they've got one goal in mind, which is, as you say, they want to lose a bit of weight, or, you know, they want to change one particular habit. But how much do you find that once they start making friends there, and you're going to have breakfast together, all of that is just as important to them as the initial goal that they originally came for?
100%. Yeah. So we're supporting their journey throughout. We review their progress regularly, but as they sort of make connections with other people in club, you know, they've got like a load of cheerleaders basically who become friends, who are cheering them on at every stage. So it's not just their personal wellness coach that is cheering them along and supporting them. It's this new community of like-minded people. And that's the thing as well. It's like-minded. We've all got, you know, even though our goals may be slightly different, it's all general wellness and well-being, isn't it? So everybody's here to feel better.
Yeah, no, totally.
Supporting each other in the journey, sharing little ideas, like meal ideas, recipes, you know, different ways of doing things that people might not have thought of themselves. And sometimes members will come up with something that I've not thought of, you know, or find something in a shop that I've not found. So it works both ways. It's not just always me giving the information. Sometimes they're teaching me just as much as I'm coaching them.
Do you find that there's a specific demographic? I mean, you mentioned menopausal women earlier, but you know, is there a demographic that at the moment doesn't necessarily gravitate towards what you're doing, but perhaps could do?
Yeah,
you know? Like people like me, for example. No, do I fit into the demographic?
What category are you putting yourself in?
Well, probably slightly overweight and 51.
Well, I've got a mix of male and female. It is more heavy towards the female members online and in club, but I do have quite a lot of male members online and in Nutrition Club, and for a number of different reasons. Some of them are on fat loss plans. I actually have 2 people in particular that are clients of mine that are extremely fit and active. So there's probably 2 out of 80 to 100 clients in total. So that's a very small percentage. That's something that I'd like to do more of, especially going into January when people have new sort of wellness goals. People kind of tend to do like new year, new start, don't they? Make fresh goals and things for the new year. That's something that I want to explore more of. So these 2 people in particular are both extremely fit and active, almost kind of athlete mode, really. And they're both still stripping body fat and achieving amazing results. And one of them in particular has got quite high internal fat. So looking at him, you would think he was, he looks like an athlete, he performs like an athlete, but actually when we get him on the body composition scales, they say something quite different. So it's really interesting. But that's something I'd like to do more of. So I definitely would like people who are training for things, want to fuel their sports performance. I'd love to do more of that because that's something that I really enjoy doing as well.
Excellent. And when you're talking to people, is it as much about taking something up or adding something as it is about subtracting something? Because I mean, personally, I found it, because I found it quite easy over the last few years to give things up. But taking things up is harder.
So with this, it is about transforming daily habits. That's what it's all about. But we have healthier swaps for things. So for example, if somebody comes to me and one of their bad habits is coffee and tea drinking, a lot of people don't realize the impact of that. So I see a lot of people who basically fuel themselves all day long on tea and coffee. And they think like if they want to lose weight, they can't understand why they're not losing weight because all they're doing is drinking tea and coffee all day. And then they eat this evening meal, but that doesn't satisfy them because by that point, the body's starved of all the things that they actually need to fuel the body. And then they're ravenous in the evening. So then they have a huge evening meal and then that doesn't satisfy anything properly. So then they carry on picking. And so actually they've consumed probably more calories at the time of day when they're generally less active as well. So there's no metabolism there. And then if you actually added up the sugar and calories in the milk alone, in the tea and coffees, you'd get a shock.
It's massive.
Yeah. And so we have something called thermo tea, which is what I'm drinking now. Thermogenic tea is like an energy boosting. It's got naturally derived caffeine and it burns calories, boosts your metabolism. The thermogenic process raises the internal body temperature to help boost the metabolism. And it's got antioxidants in it, vitamins and minerals in it. So it's much healthier swap for the type of caffeine that's in tea and coffee. Plus you don't have to have milk in it. So when you think you can swap something that's probably adding 80 to 100 calories per drink to something that's burning 80 calories per drink, plus has all those other health benefits, people just don't realize that these things are out there and that they're available. So we can drink this as part of our daily routine. And the difference and the positive impact it can have from a health point of view compared to tea and coffee is unreal.
That's brilliant. And it's thermogenic tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is awesome. Do you know what? If nothing else from today's conversation, if I take that away, I will take that away because I gave up coffee completely a few years back. About 3 years back now, because I was drinking ridiculous amounts of coffee. And I know just from like sitting on LinkedIn all day long, the amount of coffee that people drink. And I've been there.
Yeah.
I
bet you had major withdrawals from it as well when you had to stop.
Oh, just incredible. But it's so easy to do, especially if you are out and about. And I used to get up early in the morning and you think, I kind of need this to kickstart my day. And then when you're getting out, especially at this kind of time of year, and you're stood on a cold train station and there's someone selling hot coffee, it's kind of gravitate towards it. And then I worked in coffee shops because I'd go out and I'd see people, and then they'd have reports to write. So I'd go and find a coffee shop to work in. And there's people listening now going, yeah, I do all of that.
Yeah.
But I was drinking probably 8 double shots a day. It's
less, it's not uncommon that it's not. Most people that come to see me for a wellness evaluation, it's either tea or coffee.
Absolutely ridiculous. In the end, I went to see the doctor, and the doctor said, you got to give this up because it was causing me all sorts of issues. And I must admit, Sorry?
But you never slept properly amongst anything else.
Never slept properly, always had headaches, Zoe. And, as soon as I gave it up, after going through terrible headaches in giving it up, but as soon as I did that, no longer needed to take a packet of paracetamol every week or whatever, which again wasn't great for you. But I was, I used to think, well, if I had the coffee will get rid of the headache. But actually, it was the other way around, that the coffee was actually causing the headache.
Yeah, not only dehydration as well. People don't realize, like, for every cup of coffee you drink, you pretty much need to drink 4 glasses of water, the same size as the coffee, just to rehydrate the coffee. So the thing with this tea that we drink is that actually adds to hydration, not takes away. It's
amazing. It's amazing. And then this year, I gave up. Well, in March, I gave up alcohol. Yeah. So that's gone by the by.
I'm in the club as well. I stopped drinking in August 21.
There you go. And I'm pleased because people are making more alternatives out there. And it's not until you stop and you start looking that you realize there are alternatives. So in the same way as you say, there's a different tea you can actually have. You don't have to have your builder's brew out there. There is something that's an alternative. The same with alcohol. There are alternatives out there that are good for you. So that's brilliant. What other things do you do? I mean, not apart from sort of beverages and food. Are there other particular things that you do to help people?
Well, just creating this space, really, creating this space for people to come. So, I mean, it's a nutrition company. Herbalife is a nutrition company. Some people think it's a shake diet, or we just drink all of our meals. That's not the case at all. We eat normal foods, and we just give people personalized plans to follow so that they know how to balance things out and swap bad habits for better ones. So, obviously, I'm doing, as well as managing their personalized plans in terms of their nutrition to achieve the goals, I'm also reviewing the progress and giving them the place to come to achieve their goals and to be part of a community as well. So,
I love the idea of a space. I think that's the really important thing.
Some people need it. They just need it for accountability. Some people can work quite independently on an online plan and be absolutely fine. And other people just need that place to come. They need to be part of a community. They need it. They need the social aspect to it as well. And I think especially after the pandemic, people are craving that face-to-face company with people. And you know what? Like, without wanting to blow my own trumpet, this is the place to do it, isn't it? It's an amazing place to come. It really is. It's full of positivity and positive energy. I mean, it's not open now, which is why it's really quiet. But in the mornings, we have an absolute ball. We have the music on. We have a laugh, usually at my expense, but I don't take myself seriously. I'm just a real human being. And if they're all just laughing at me all morning, that's absolutely fine, because they all have a great time, and I'm laughing with them at the end of the day. They're not laughing at, they're not poking fun at me. So we have a laugh. We don't take ourselves too seriously, but we get amazing results at the same time.
And I think that's so important as well, because with the pandemic, a lot of offices closed, a lot of people started working from home, and I work from home, but in a way, I'm fortunate. I've got a big family here. I've got a social unit, as it were, and I do the school runs and whatever with the kids. So I do go out and I see other people. But it's important somewhere within your life, if you've suddenly moved from having a social realm within an office space, to now just sitting in a house. Not really seeing anybody, you've got to get out. from time to time. You've got to have that space with other people. And I imagine that actually, as much as the physical side of things, you're doing it a lot for people's mental health.
Oh, 100%. I've been on the journey myself as well. That's the other thing to mention, is that I've not always been as I am now. Only 15 months ago, I had severe anxiety and depression. I was medicated for that. I spent half the month in bed staring at four walls in a state of anxious depression. And, you know, I had lots of medical health problems that were affecting me mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I was on the floor and, you know, I've made major changes, and now I am where I am now, but I can draw from personal experience when I'm helping people as well. So, you know, I'm sort of doing it with them, you know, taking them on that similar journey. And me personally, my mental health has improved just as much as my physical health. So has my spiritual and my emotional health as well.
That's brilliant. And let's bring that back round to Move, because I wanted to ask you again about Move. We mentioned it at the beginning, but I mean, how much has Move helped in that respect as well, especially with the, you know, the networking, getting out in the mornings, you know? Yeah,
well, as you know, because I know obviously there's Move Online, there's Move Networking. I don't really partake in Move Online. There's reasons for that, and it's nothing to do with, I know that it would benefit me, but I do other stuff within this business where we do a lot on Zoom in the evenings and stuff like that. So
you need space away from it.
This is my indoor thing. So, but I'm an outdoor girl. And naturally I want to be out there. You know what I mean? I want to be in nature. I want to be out in the fresh air, walking. That's my thing. So networking is perfect for me. Some of my now very close friends are people that I've met on networking. And when I rocked up in January this year, I knew no one. I'd seen it on somebody else's Facebook. It was just like, who'd been added as a friend of a friend sort of thing. And I'm just so glad I saw it, because it's been incredible. Like I sometimes take my dog, sometimes don't. But it's nice that I've got that option that I can take him, because there's lots of other physical activities that I can't take him on, you know, things like that aren't suitable for him. Can't take him to the gym with me.
Well, you can, but you know,
if anyone is too happy about it. So there's that, and then I've just made incredible connections, incredible friends. I've got this group of people that I look forward to seeing every Sunday morning. My Sundays are my most active day. You know, I get like 20-something thousand steps in on a Sunday, compared to when I'm in here. I struggle to get that many in, because I'm only really going to the bathroom or around the block every now and then. So yeah, it's been amazing, and I get involved in the socials as well. And
which is nice, because then you start to see maybe the larger community, and that's nice. And you hear a little bit about what happens in some of the other spaces as well. I think it's great as a community that it's got all of these different elements, and that you know, it doesn't matter if you're, you know, you don't have to be active necessarily in all of them, but you know, they're designed around different parts of personality, and different they support in different ways, and that's great, you know, and people can pick and choose what they need out of it.
Yeah, and it's not just my premises, you know, that I got through a networking contact. I've benefited massively in lots of ways from attending networking, from being in the Move community, and it's something that I would never give up, because I just love it. I look forward to Sundays every week. If I could go to Saturday as well, I would, but I'm here with my nutrition club open on a Saturday, so I can't attend both, unfortunately. And if they started doing them at midday and in the evening, I'd be there.
I was going to say, though, I'm going to ask you this, because I don't attend networking at the moment, because I'm quite a long way away from it. I'm down south, and hopefully, you know, at some point we will be starting up some networking in other areas, so that would be great. But some people, I think, might look at it and go, they are up early at the weekend, and that's a difficult thing to do, get up early at the weekend. But just tell us, how have you found that? And actually, does that really work quite well? Because it does mean that you, in a way, you can park any of those kind of thoughts that you had about things that are going on in your business, etc. you can park them early on in the weekend, and then actually that makes you more available for other people for the rest of the weekend. Does it work like that?
Yeah. So my mindset is completely, well, not completely different, because I've got a, you know, pretty positive growth mindset anyway, and I'm an early bird anyway, so I'm up the rest of the week. I'm up. But some people would say to me, well, that's your day off, that's your only day off of the week, why would you want to get up early? Because I see Sunday as the start to my week, not the end. So on Sunday, I'm setting my intentions for what I'm going to do that week. So getting out in the fresh air, in nature, especially, like, I think West Kirby, because you've got that gorgeous view over to Wales. You've got the sea air as well. I'm a water baby, so that works well for me. But no, it's me. That is my intention setting. It clears my mind. It helps me plan ahead for the week ahead. And I always have a super productive week when I've been to networking on a Sunday morning. So to anybody that's more of a kind of chill out Sunday person who might prefer sometimes to stay in bed a bit longer and have a lie in, I would just advise you to give it a go, because stay open-minded. You may end up actually loving it. And if you're really that much of a person that would love staying in bed and having a cup of tea brought to you or whatever, go back after networking and get back in bed and get someone to bring you a cup of that. So think of what you would have achieved already by that time. So we're done by 8:30.
I just think as well, though, for many business owners, that actually, you know, life isn't about 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, then you switch off. It's, you know, you probably will wake up every morning, and it will be like thinking about business, you know, thinking about, have I done that? Should I be talking to that, you know, communicate? And actually, you know, or what am I going to do about that? And I just think maybe having that opportunity to go, perhaps talk about business early doors on a Saturday or Sunday morning with a group of people who will understand that whole conversation, get it out the way, is really, really good for you, because it just means that then when you go home to the rest of your family or whatever, it's like, okay, I've done that now. I've parked that.
Yeah, and do you know what? Our conversation is not always about business anyway. So it's not it's not like being in a business meeting. Sometimes we're just having a laugh. We're just like-minded people having a laugh together. But because you're with other business people or business leaders, all different sort of, you know, careers and all sorts of different skill sets and mindsets and everything. But you can get ideas just from normal conversation. Sometimes somebody's approach to how they might deal with a certain situation that's not related to business and might just make you think, oh, that's a good way to look at it. Or so it's not always about business, and that's one of the things I love about it, is there's not too formal.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you have to be a certain way or behave a certain way, or, you know, have all the ideas, or, you know, it's a relaxed way of getting like-minded people together to enjoy each other's company in the fresh air, set their intentions for the week if that's what they want to do, get your body moving. Because for me, I get way more from that for planning ahead for my week and intention setting than I would if I was sat with a pen and paper or in front of a computer screen.
And it's networking without having to wear a suit, which is tremendous, because I hate wearing suits. I know Mark loves to wear a suit, Mark Waldron, and he looks great in one. But you know, but he doesn't when he does his networking. If you've watched these videos,
he wears hot pants.
There you go. So you want to see Mark in his hot pants?
The colder the weather gets, the shorter they get.
And there may be a reason for some people to go. If you want to see Mark in his hot pants, or Zoe and her dog occasionally, or meet everybody else that's there, you can find out more information about networking with Move on the website, which is move-online.co.uk networking. So you've been a great guest today. Thank you so much for coming on, telling us a little bit about your business and sharing some insight into especially tea. That is my main takeaway from today, as much as anything else, and the beautiful stuff about your business. I'm now going to go and invest in some of that tea.
I'll place your order now.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. That's been Zoe Morris on Move TV. Look out for more Move TV coming later this week. Bye for now.